Welcome to another edition of Northern Heat. My name is Bob Lennon, President of Thermalwood Canada, and host for the show. Our special guest today, Ken Macleod. How you doing, Ken?
Wonderful. Good to be here.
So, Ken, this is the second show that we've done together here.
Wow. Have you done many person shows? I don't know which
Well,
one.
yeah, it doesn't happen very often that we do that, but we're doing that for a special reason today, because the first time we met and went through that, you talked to me about Sistema and the New Brunswick Youth Orchestra. And I was so inspired by that. I told you that if you ever decided to set up a program in the Bathurst and Chaleur region, to give me a call, and I put some people together. And that's why we're here today.
Right. You know, I love that when someone says, if ever, you know, because the trouble is many people say it and it doesn't necessarily mean anything. But what I like about our conversation and time and what's happened since is you're one of those sort of, what's the answer is yes. Now what's the question? and I like that, you know, so, you know, you said if ever, and I made a phone call and you jumped right in with both feet.
Well, it's and it's easy when you got a whole pile of people around that want to do something. So our first step was for you to give a presentation to a group of business people in the area and you know, the municipalities, the mayors and stuff. And then we put a committee together for fundraising. And today we had a media event where we talked about the fundraising itself. So, you know, I called you up and said, we want to do this. And is it possible to have maybe 4 children that play violins come up and play? And what did we have today?
We had a children's orchestra of 50 musicians today. So, and this is part of the culture of Sistema New Brunswick. You know, we have 1,200 kids in our program.
It's amazing.
It's the largest program of its kind in Canada. We do kids and music. And so, you know, and we're an orchestra program. We're not, you know, a private solo kind of. And so when we perform, we want to put our best foot forward. And we have these amazing kids with such a high level of talent. And the best thing we can do is it's good for them to perform. You know, it's part of the social program where they work hard. Then they get to show their achievement to others. And then others get to enjoy the beauty of the music and what's happening in the lives of these kids. And so it's win-win-win. And but what a better way to demonstrate what the potential of a program like this is than to actually see the kids at work and the level of achievement, the amount of pride, the confidence, the self-esteem. And so it's magical when you see that.
Well, it was pretty impressive, because the way that it was organized today is that there's 6 elementary schools that feed into the program. So kids from all those schools have an opportunity to apply to get into the Sistema program. And so the orchestra today that came up from the Miramichi, they came up and they performed at Parkwood Elementary and then at Carrefour Étudiant in Beresford. And then after that, they stayed around and for our media event, and they performed for the pledges that were there, and totally impressive.
Yeah, I think people, what I find is people always, they have in mind, I'm going to see something cute, you know, kids, music, a little, you know, but what they end up seeing is something that is profound. You know, it's at such a high level, excellence, and I think it's a surprise and it's a joy to see it. So, yeah, it was fun. And thanks, you know, you assembled such a great team of community leaders. And, you know, there's not much that can happen in a community without people putting their hands together, right? Because no one can do it alone, right? And so, I mean, I know on our behalf, having that, you know, your support and that team of people, it means a lot. And then your, you know, credibility and influence helps to bring others in. And that's how we get things done, right? That's how we deliver value to our kids and families and communities.
Well, today was twofold to have that media event. One of them was to thank the people that have already pledged. for the program, and the other one was to entice others to get involved. And I think that we succeeded on both cases, Ken.
We did.
We did.
And we should say what we achieved today. So, just going back to our last conversation, Sistema New Brunswick is a social program through music in the orchestra. And it's really intensive, and that's why it works so well. So kids come 3 hours after school, 5 days a week, 10 months of the year. It's amazing. And they get really, really good at the music. And then they connect the dots between my hard work and effort and their achievement in music and as part of the orchestra. And that can transform their life because they understand their capacity as a human being to reach their goals. And so that's really what it's about. We, as you know, we wanted the local community to contribute $65,000 a year.
Yeah.
And so today you were able to announce $39,000, more than halfway to the goal.
Yeah.
And there are some people there today that are going to take us really close to the goal, I think, based on what they saw and their invitations to come. So,
well, I think that, you're absolutely right. When you have an opportunity to see what these kids have been able to achieve, like, it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like those young ladies that are playing, and there was one young lady, I believe, that was in that group that is going with you to Carnegie Hall this summer.
That's right.
And just amazing.
Well, and it's great to demonstrate that to these young kids that will have a chance to start for the first time at 6 and 7 years old in September here in the Chaleur Region. So they now see this NBYO musician. She started in our Sistema in Miramichi with an instrument she made out of cardboard. And in June of this year, she'll walk on the stage at Carnegie Hall and perform with the New Brunswick Youth Orchestra. How cool is that?
And that's probably one of the biggest stages in the world for orchestras.
It is, yeah. It's like I don't know, the Maple Leaf Forum, or it's like all of that, right? It's Wimbledon, for the musician.
It's going to the Olympics.
Yeah, that's right, exactly.
All those things. And I seen this morning when they were playing at Parkwood Elementary, I went over and talked to the maestro when I left and thanked him for the great job that he was doing. And there's this little guy that went by me, and I look, my God, I said, how old is he? And he was 6 years old. And Carlos said, well, he's not the youngest. He said he had a 5-year-old in the program. So, it's crazy.
So here's for me, the big thing in all this, Bob, and I think this is what attracted you and the others, and what continues to attract me, is that that too many of our kids are left out of opportunity. But on the other hand, we know all kids have talent, but they don't all have opportunity. So if we can just do that, right, provide them with opportunity, they can achieve at the highest levels. We're proving that, and that's our job, right? As business leaders, community leaders, a part of the society, is how do we open doors so that these kids who have all the capacity in the world can shine, and we can do that from rural New Brunswick. Like, right.
Yeah,
I mean, we have talent that can compete on any stage in the world, right here in our own province of New Brunswick and in any region of the province. And we're seeing that, very clearly through the lives of these young kids.
Well, again, I know I've told you this before, but thank you very much for doing this for the province, because you're working at changing the cultural fabric of what we are, and you're helping a lot of young people achieve what they might have not been able to know that they could achieve at one point in time. And I'm thankful to be a part of that. So I really appreciate it. Thanks again for starting me off in this direction and the group that we've got. And if there's anybody out there that wants to pledge any money to the Sistema program, don't be shy. Get a hold of me at Thermalwood, Canada, and we'll be able to set you off in the right direction. So again, thank you very much, Ken.
Thank you, Bob.
There we are. Another edition of Northern Heat for this week, the place you come to listen to the stories that haven't been discovered yet.